Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Siege Voyager class Springer. Yay, it's another review. Finally, right? Right. Check out the podcast that I just posted if you want to hear more details, or check my Twitter. I guess, I don't know, for why I've been absent for so long. But I got Springer. I wanted to get my reviews back going, so I figured why not start off with this lush toy. I mean, it's not necessarily the best Voyager I've handled, but hey, he's good. He is still very good. As you can see, this Springer is very much a G1 original Springer, more cartoon accurate and toy accurate as well, with the very chunky sections and the tiny windscreens and these little fins, as opposed to the more IDW generation Springer we got back in 2012, 2013. I mean, I have it, I just forget what year it came out. But he's still very nice. You got his predominantly main green colors as well as yellow on the front. As it is a siege toy, there is some battle damage paint going on there and there, as well as on the chest with his nice Autobot symbol and a nice translucent blue cockpit. The top is a darker green with more paint scuffing or battle damage paint. Yellow thrusters, gray in the back here with a little bit of battle damage paint on that section there. Nothing on these fins, but they are nice. A little bit of dark green on the side. The wheels look very clean. There's the back, and there's the bottom. His car mode, it sort of rolls. The clearance is very, very tight. I think it's mostly like this little yellow bit that sticks out that causes most of the issues. I mean, if like you got this running on carpet, you're going to be fine, but on a perfectly smooth surface, it's not making all of them roll at once, unfortunately. So he slides a bit more than he should, which is unfortunate. But besides that, he has several 5mm ports, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that are accessible in vehicle mode, and you can use them to attach his various accessories. In terms of accessories, he does have 2 swords. He has 2 nice swords. He's got this blaster. He's got this other blaster. And he's got this thingy, which I think the instructions called like a missile launcher type thing, but it's really just the piece that holds his swords in his helicopter mode, so he's got the rotor blades. But that's an accessory too, with 5mm ports all up on it. Of course, 5mm ports. You can put the guns in there. You can put this on if you want him to be wielding it. As for sword storage, you can obviously put the swords in the bit that's going to be the rotor, but you also have these tabs in a couple of places in these slots on the sides of the sword, so you can stick the swords on there like so. For other combinations, because of other combinations, you can attach the sword on the side of his car mode, as well as on the side of this gun, like so. And while we're talking about that, these 2 guns are able to combine. As you can see, this one has a hole. This one will fit over that. And according to the instructions, you're able to make basically a super weapon by combining the guns, combining the swords, and sticking them in the rotor bit and doing that. So you got a big rotating cannon on top of your car mode. If you want to do that, that's definitely a thing you can do. That's it for the accessories. But he also does have compatibility with the blast effect parts. The main ones on the vehicle mode are, well, technically they are on vehicle mode, but like where they're positioned, you can't really access them in this mode. I'm surprised there aren't more on the front. There's a couple on the sides right there. So it looks like he's getting shot. Nothing on top, nothing on the sides. And then you got these back here, I guess, to be thrusters. So there's actually, his car mode does not have a whole lot of blast effect locations, but there's definitely more in robot mode. Very solid alt mode, weird proportionally so, but I mean, it makes it more Cybertronian and it's accurate. Biggest complaint I have is the roof pegging, trying to peg this top bit into the holes as it should. It sometimes likes to go, but it's the most annoying part of the transformation for both to car mode and to helicopter mode, for sure. But that is all there is to say on the car mode, so let's get into some size comparisons. Here he is with Deluxe Class Sideswipe, Voyager Class Optimus Prime, Leader Class Ultra Magnus, and his Generations self. Now that we're done with the car mode, let's roll on to the helicopter mode. We're gonna go car, helicopter, robot. And I'll try to put out a transformation vid shortly to go over all the steps. I don't know how soon, unfortunately. But to transform Springer from car to helicopter, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna untab this. There's 4 tabs here, 2 of them go here in those slots, and 2 of them go in these gaps, like right by those pins. You're gonna lift that up. You're gonna come to the sides, untab. This tab is in that slot, and then this notch is in that slot in there. And you're gonna do that on the other side as well. We gotta detach him a bit so we can get him situated for copter mode. We're gonna pull those bits out. We're gonna actually rotate the legs around like so, and then split, rotate at what will be his robot mode thigh. Rotate like so. We are going to split these panels off that tab into that slot, split that off, and then we're also going to come back and split this and flip that around, split that, flip that around, and then we're just going to come swing the hip down like so. So you can see that the hip is now there as opposed to there. We're going to do that again on the other side, flip that down like so, tab it all together, predominant 2 tabs in the back, and then we're going to finish this back section off by flipping those bits around like so and putting them together like that. So that back section is ready for helicopter mode. Now we just gotta get the front finished up. So how we're gonna do that is we are going to unpeg that, I should say. I'm gonna bend this down so we get clearance to just flip this panel around. And then we're gonna come here, pull that out of the arm. And then we're gonna tab this back in and then flip this around, and it's just gonna sit basically on that bit right there. It doesn't tab it anywhere. It just sits there basically. And we're gonna do the same on the other side. Untab this bit, rotate down, flip panel out, slide that out, put the arm back, flip that around that way, and there we go with that. And now, instead of the arm sections being up here, we're gonna flip this down like so the panels are lined up like that, and that this tab now goes into that slot in the forearm. And we're gonna plug it all in very securely, like so. Like so, there we go. And we're going to flip this back. Those tabs will go into those 2 slots and those 2 slots there. If I can straighten that out. There we go. Like I said, bit of a bugger. Stays more securely in copter mode for sure. And then we're going to come back to the weapons. Undo that. Put the swords in. the swords in, stick that on top, and there you, whoops, and close those tail bits up so they're one piece. And now you have Springer in his helicopter mode. So again, like the car mode, this is much more the G1 toy alternate mode. Sci-fi-y enough to kind of fit in with the aesthetic, though I do admittedly like the helicopter mode less than the Generation Springer, just because it looks more like an extended out car rather than a helicopter. I'll be perfectly honest. If like the wheels are just straight out there, it could just be like this is like a weird 3-wheeled car or something, and like there's nothing preventing the wheels from rolling at all besides the ground clearance issues that I mentioned for car mode. Yeah. So I'm just gonna do like a 360 with the helicopter because not much new comes out. The main thing new is like these side panels that are on the forearms, but they got some nice detail on them, but like there's no battle damage on those bits there. And then like I guess back here a little bit, and then underside looks like that. And yeah, as you can see, the rotor is able to spin freely thanks to the design of the rotor piece, and the swords are obviously supposed to be there. You could put them elsewhere, but like then like you don't have a good you don't have a helicopter, then you just got a different car. But showing off the guns, we've got the same weapon storage points. One thing I do want to specifically point out with the weapon storage is I mentioned the tabs that this gun, the tabs that the swords can plug into on this gun. Well, there are specific notches on these front wings here. I think that's what they're called, that allow the gun to be tabbed in on the sides, as well as being able to fit properly by just having just enough clearance for the gun to properly fit. So I appreciate that they did that. And I mean, I guess you can, if you want to, stick a gun on top there, and it just goes pew 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 as he soy 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 soy. Remember soy soy soy? Anyone? I don't know. Well, another the thing I do like to do is, since there is a 5mm port on the bottom, you can stick his guns under there, and now he's got a primary gun in the front of the copter, which I think looks nice. Looks very nice. I mean, it'd be nicer if I didn't see the gappy part top, but like I like that they put that in there. I like that because that is definitely covered up in robot mode, and it wouldn't make sense in car mode. And he does have actually just two in this mode, two posts at the bottom here. If you've got stands or flight stands for those kinds of guys. Again, 5mm ports, two on the back. These two are now accessible, and I don't know why I can't find any others. I'm surprised there isn't one on the chest or something. There's the ones on the sides of the shoulders. But I'm surprised there isn't anything like... Oh, right, they're underneath this panel. I forgot. We'll see that in a bit. But that's it for helicopter mode. So now on to some size comparisons. Here he is with Deluxe Class Sideswipe, Voyager Class Optimus Prime, Leader Class Ultra Magnus, and here he is with Generations Springer. And that's all there is to say about Springer's helicopter mode, so let's roll right along to his robot mode. So first things first, take off the rotor. Second things second, pull that out of the way. And undo the arms so as we got some clearance to work. All right, so next we're gonna fold these down. I'm gonna split that. Might as well put the hips up while we're working on the legs, like so. Fold these bits into his thighs, and remember to take them out because it definitely looks a lot different in car mode with those not there, and it's really annoying to try to get those out when you already got them transformed into car mode. But anyway, we'll flip these in like so, flip them in, make sure everything's tabbed, then we'll rotate that down, flip the foot around, and there's one leg. Do the same on the other side. There we go. And we're gonna rotate his legs at the thigh, so that's the lower body. So now for the upper body, what we're gonna do is we are going to end up moving this whole section forward from here. So this is all going to detach. That goes in right there. There's a few hinges up here, and we're gonna extend them upward. Then with that, extend them upward like so. So instead of here, we're now here. And this started wanting to fall off, and I don't know why. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're gonna flip this bit down. I'm gonna undo that and flip that up. I'm gonna move that down so we get able to straighten that out. We can rotate the head, flip these panels in, and close that up. So, okay, so we got that done. Now we're gonna get these arms into position so as we can put these tabs right here into those holes right there. So it's a little annoying to get those right, but it is what is needed. At this point, let us, hold on. I forget how hard it is to transform something from the other side of a camera. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. We'll clip these in to that gap right there. And from here, we can untab that bit. We can bend this down, rotate it around, stick it back in, flip that panel down. Then we're going to fold the shoulder up like so, flip that panel in, flip that panel down, one arm done. Repeat on the other side. Undo that, bend the arm, rotate, slide, collapse, get that bent up, flip down, and there you have Springer in his robot mode. And he does look very good, very movie screen accurate, and it is quite nice. Admittedly, I prefer the styles of the IDW a bit more, but this does look very nice. This looks very, very nice. So getting a bit closer on him, you can see that very nice head sculpt, a bit of yellow in those cheek things there. Nice screen accurate off-white creamy face with some nice slanted blue optics in that noggin of his. This is the front of the car, so you know that. There's the two new weapons effect ports, or blast effect ports. The arms, mostly the vehicle mode arms, so you basically already seen them. He's got nice hands down there. Thighs and hips are very clean, and then you got his legs down here. There's the bottom of his feet, and there's his back, and he's got two ports down there if you want to do some weaponizing with the others. With the weaponizers, I should say. With the weaponizers. As for articulation, his head can rotate 360 degrees. It's got a little bit of up and down, a little bit side to side. The arms cannot go a full 360. It's going to be very hard to show you, but like this bit right here, it just, and yeah, this thing right here, it gets in the way of the shoulder. Just, it gets, well, specifically, come on. Specifically, that gets in, this shoulder gets in the way of that rotating all the way through. So there is no 360 degree rotation, so you can lift him up that far, or you can rotate him that far back, but there is no 360 rotation on Springer, which surprises me, honestly. Arms can go out that far to the shoulder pads. There is a bicep rotation 360 degrees, elbow bend of greater than 90 degrees, and there is a wrist rotation. Hips can not do a full 360 due to this hinge getting in the way, but you do get very good rotation on him. Legs can go that far forward, that far back to the hip. They can go all the way out. Thigh rotates 360 degrees. Knee has very, very far bend. And you do have ankle tilt as well as toe bend or foot rotation up and down. Anyway, you can get him posed quite a wide stance is the point there. And as for his weapons, he can, of course, hold his guns, hold that. You can have this be the sheath, or you can use these tabs on the side to be the sheaths for the gun, like so. And actually, I'll just show this off really quick because you are able to like comfortably get all of the weapons onto his back for storage. That's quite nice. Technically, this one's a little bit in the way, but I do it this way so it doesn't keep spinning. Though granted, if it's like that, it's not going to be spinning too much with those guns in the way. Maybe you just put a bit of back heaviness on him. But you can definitely get him to stand like that. It just makes him, again, a little more heavy in the trunk, heavy in the back. Then yeah, of course, you can hold the swords. So they can go wherever they can go. Swords, obviously, you have to be able to go through into the port far enough for the 5mm part to actually get there. But yeah, and I also forgot to mention the swords do have these bits on there. So if you have melee weapon effect part, you can stick them on there. I just forgot about this bit. So, and there we are. So lionizers effect part, you got the whoosh whoosh on that. Excellent. So with that out of the way, let's get into some size comparisons. So I raise the camera a little bit. There we go. Size comparison time. Here he is with Deluxe Class Sideswipe, Voyager Class Optimus Prime, Leader Class Ultra Magnus, his Generations counterpart, and of course next to the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack. So overall, I do quite enjoy this Springer. When I first got him out of the box, I wasn't too pleased because I was having some difficulty with getting the alt modes to work for the transformation. And I was noticing pretty quickly about the certain weird limitations of the of articulation, like with the shoulders and the feet are a little loose, just loose enough that it can be a bit more difficult to keep him standing. But like, it's not so convoluted once you get everything tabbing together, and it's honestly just pretty much the back, the canopy. This bit right here, that is the most difficult to get into place. Everything else pretty much fits into place. I wish like these bits when they're in helicopter mode actually tabbed in somewhere, but they stay fine. I mean, he's good, and I've kept playing with him, and it was like, oh yeah, this is fun, this is good, this is nice. He is definitely good, and if you don't have a Springer, you should definitely pick him up. If you have the Thrilling 30 Springer, the Generation Springer, as I've been mentioning throughout the review, that's honestly probably a bit up to taste, because I know people were complaining with the Thrilling 30 that there are gaps in the front of the car because the panels don't meet all the way, and so there's a bit of a gap. But this Springer's got it too, not as bad, but still. So if you like the IDW aesthetic and you got Thrilling 30 Springer, you're probably fine with him. If you prefer the G1 aesthetic, or if you don't have Thrilling 30 Springer, get this one. And honestly, I'm personally keeping both because IDW is going on my record shelf and this Springer's going on my 86 shelf. But I do think he's a good toy. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Ko-fi account. The link for that is in the description down below. And don't forget to check out my gaming channel, RDSJ Gaming, with the Rational Dove, aka Alyssa, where we are currently playing through Pokemon Colosseum. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.